Okay, it is 11 o'clock on the dot, and I am a firm believer of getting things started on time and being respectful of your time and ending when we say we're going to. So we're going to start our partnerships call for August. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Nikki Haben. I am the partnerships director for Riverbend Food Bank. And you are going to be graced with an appearance from Chris Ford later on and from Jenny Colvin, our vice president, who has a great fund development presentation for you all. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to skip ahead to the next slide where we're going to show you our agenda for the day. But before we jump in, I just want to apologize for last Friday's cancellation of the meeting within a couple hours of when it was supposed to start. I had hitched a ride with Chris to work that morning because I needed a company vehicle later in the day. And on our way, sitting here talking about vegetable prices, we were in a car accident. So that kind of threw our whole plan for the day off, where Chris and I were not able to do last Friday's call. So we are both okay. Chris, I don't know if you wanted to jump in with any information. He took the brunt of it. So I'm very thankful that Chris drives a very stable car.
Yeah, thanks, Nikki. I'm not sure it's stable anymore, but it was stable during the accident. And I think I have not been asked to give anyone a ride home or to work since then. So take that for what it's worth.
I appreciate everybody's well wishes when we sent that notice out that what had happened. We got a lot of good responses from people just making sure we were okay. So we're very thankful for the food bank family and everybody's care and concern. So we rescheduled for today and we are ready to go. You can see the agenda, I'm assuming, on the screen. Everybody can see the agenda for today. Thank you. We've got a lot of good information to share. One thing I'm going to say that we're just going to start out with is I think I'm going to start out with this slide for the next several months, just to kind of give you guys an overview of what Riverbend Food Bank looks like. And this call that we are doing on a monthly basis, everybody can see the breakdown on my screen. We have 432 what we call hunger relief partners, sites, programs. And I'm sharing the breakdown on the screen just so you guys can get a bigger view. We invite all 432 hunger relief partners to this call. And we're trying to just get a better picture of what Riverbend Food Bank does as a whole for the 23 counties that we serve. But some of the items are going to be very relevant to you and to your work. And some of them might just be information for you to have so you can get that bigger picture of what the work is here that we're doing at the food bank. So as you can see, here's the breakdown of what the partners look like. And we do have 18 counties in Illinois and 5 in Iowa. So sometimes we'll be talking about things specific to Iowa, sometimes just Illinois. Sometimes we'll be talking about things specific to schools. Sometimes we'll be talking about things specific to food pantries. So we're going to try our best before we go into each agenda item to let you know, hey, this is for this specific hunger relief partner. However, if we forget, I apologize, but it is good information as a whole for everyone to understand the work that we are all doing as a part of Riverbend Food Bank. So thank you for your patience as we talked through that. And I am just going to go ahead and turn it right over to Chris.
Thanks, Nikki. I'll let you go ahead and share that page. Good morning, everyone. Good to be with you again. Happy August to you. I just want to share today and be very transparent with you. I think most of you have received the information concerning our shared maintenance fees. And I want to just reiterate and answer any questions that you would have. Effective September 1st, we have been given approval from Feeding America, who is our parent company, to increase our shared maintenance fee from 18 cents a pound to 19 cents a pound on donated food. So you will see that small 1 penny increase on donated food. You've been seeing that 18 cents, I think, for the past 5 years. So this is the first time in 5 years and we've only taken a penny increase. What I do also want to be very transparent with you is we are also going to apply that 19 cents per pound fee to produce. So this would be produce either donated to us or produce that we purchased. I want to make sure you understand, regardless of what we pay for produce, you'll only be charged 19 cents a pound. The information that we sent out, we tried to give you some relative pricing as to where fruits and vegetables are right now. And we think you and us are very competitive at 19 cents a pound. As we looked at averages across the country and across our service area, there's really nowhere where you can go to get 19 cents a pound. What that 19 cents is going to be applied to is several things. It allows us to continue to support transportation and storage of those items. We have a 10,000 square foot freezer and refrigerator here that certainly has a lot of electrical uses to it that we will apply. But more importantly, it's going to allow us to continue to supply you with fresh fruits and vegetables. We know that the donated food that we get is sometimes A, there's not enough of it, and B, the quality of it is poor. This will allow us to offset a little bit of that cost and continue to provide you with good produce. I also want to make sure to make you aware of two other things. Number one, internally, our operations team is beginning to do a more thorough job to inspect the quality of the produce that we share with you. We want to make sure that what we provide to you is usable and something that you are proud to distribute, and something that we're proud to be able to distribute to you. We are in the process of putting together a refund policy. So, for example, if we do miss something, the policy will come out probably sometime next week. What we are asking you to do within 24 hours of receiving the produce from us, if you find that the produce is not up to standard, we're going to ask you to take a picture of it and get it to us immediately, and then we will refund whatever money was associated with that poundage. So we're excited about this in the fact that it's going to give us the opportunity to buy more fresh produce, more quality produce. We hope you feel the same way. And again, more importantly, it still keeps you very competitive within the marketplace. Does anybody have any questions they would like to ask? Feel free to put those in the chat or to come off.
This is Teresa Caldwell with the Dubuque Food Pantry.
Hi, Teresa. How are you? I sure
I'm
can.
doing well.
Good, thank
Okay.
you.
Do we have a right to refuse upon pickup to not waste time?
So you're saying
Because
as
we have had times that half of what we're given is no good.
Yep.
And that's not an exaggeration.
Yep, I understand that, and trust me, I've heard the stories over the past several years. What I would tell you is, first of all, I would hope with the new standards that we've put in place that situation has been rectified.
Okay.
But I would also say, yes, if the produce is pulled off the truck and you immediately see damaged or unusable produce, we would put that right back on the vehicle and bring it back here, and then take that charge off of your invoice.
And I would say it's more coming locally to us.
Okay.
That's bad. I'm not saying from you even now that it comes bad. It's locally from
So when you
St.
say-
Stephen's, from
Oh.
St. Stephen's.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So we'll put the same procedures in place with St.
Okay.
Stephen's. So, yep,
All right.
definitely not an issue, Teresa.
Okay, thank
That-
you.
Yep, thanks for asking that question.
How about as far as when we pick up produce at Riverbend itself in Davenport,
Yes,
would there have been any chance to pick what we want? Like they used to do before COVID?
we've discussed that question internally, and we're not prepared to do that at this time. Only we have a certain amount of time. I think, when you place an order, there's an order window that we try to observe. And what we're concerned about is as people would come in and want to choose produce, that we're going to backlog people that are waiting in line to get in. So we feel it's a better strategy for us to ensure that the produce that we do build and deliver to you is in good shape.
Hey, Chris, we have two questions in the chat, one from Christine Pratt and one from Kathy Ginter. The one from Christine came in first and she's asking, would you consider doing the assorted produce boxes in less than 250 pounds?
We have talked about that, still under discussion, but not ready to make that commitment at this time. Yes.
And then Kathleen is asking, any chances we could start selecting the fresh produce so it's items we can move versus 250 or mixed?
Can you read that to me again so I can understand
Any
it?
chance we could start selecting the fresh produce so it's items we can move versus 250 or mix? So she's asking to select.
Yep. Again, not at this time. We're going to continue to operate how we have and try to just equally distribute the produce that we have. A couple reasons. We certainly don't want to list every single individual item on our ordering platform. That would take too much time. And certainly, I think everyone's aware, typically when we get produce, it's at the end of its life. And to have to put specific types of produce into our ordering system, there's probably a 24 to 48 hour lead time that would turn around. So from an ordering standpoint, that does not make sense for us. And then I would echo what I said previously, that we're also trying to honor the delivery windows or the pickup windows that we have. And we feel like at this time, having people come in and choosing that produce would create a backlog within our system. So I understand people's wanting to do that, but we're also trying to be efficient in that, we have on any given day, anywhere between 20 and 40 hunger relief partners here picking up food. So,
Chris, can I add something here? I wonder, I'm curious the questions we're getting about changing the amount, what the reason for that is. Is it a budget issue? Is it something else? I think if those of you that are asking that question, or if that's a concern, maybe communicating that to your partnership manager. So as we continue to explore this new piece to the produce, that could be a helpful factor in determining how we move forward.
yeah, and I think, Jenny, I appreciate you saying that. I think I would also be interested in what pound below 250 do you feel would be comfortable, or would you feel comfortable handling? Is it 25? Is it 50? What amount is it that you would desire, I guess, in terms of produce?
Yeah. As far as like wanting to select produce, one of the reasons we would like to be able to do that is sometimes we get a really great selection, a really variety of different produce that we can that we can distribute ourselves. But sometimes we get an awful lot of something, like, say, for instance, cucumbers.
Right.
We'll get 60 pounds of cucumbers that are already in fairly bad shape, and that becomes harder for us to distribute something of that quantity. I mean, onions and potatoes, great, but
Yeah.
there's some items that if we get a whole lot of, it just, it doesn't fit the needs of the people that are coming to us.
I understand that. I think that's one of the other things that we will change operationally. I think we've always tried to do the best job to meet your needs. So say, for an example, someone puts in that they want 500 pounds of assorted produce. I think our new philosophy would be, instead of giving you, 200 pounds of cucumbers or 100 pounds of cucumbers, I think we have to be cognizant of maybe giving you less produce and giving you a smaller variety so you can distribute that. And I think that's something that we need to be better at. So you may end up only getting 400 pounds of produce, but you're not getting that extra 100 pounds of cucumbers that are, boy, I hate to use this word, cumbersome to get rid of. Sorry about that. That was bad. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of things we can explore. I think the most important thing right now is we want to make sure with this addition of 19 cents, we feel like that's going to help us support a wider variety of produce that we can purchase and try to eliminate a lot of these issues that people are bringing up. I hear you. I'm not ruling any of them out. I just think as an organization, we need some time to make the transition as smooth and as best as possible for our operations team to get you folks the produce that you need.
Teresa, I see your question to Nikki, and we're going to hold on that. It's about HKI, and Nikki might be addressing HKI, so hold on. Same thing, Christine, we see your questions there, and we can definitely address those offline if you'd like.
Kathy Hutton, did you have your hand up? Do you have a question you want to unmute yourself for?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. All the questions I had have been raised. I guess I didn't undo my hand. Sorry.
That's
And
all
I'm
right.
sorry,
good.
I hit the wrong
All
button.
good.
We'll consider that a wave. How's that?
That's a good idea, Chris.
Thank you. Yes. Any other questions on the shared maintenance fee, the increase of a penny? Excellent. Nikki, I'll let you move along then.
All right, I think it's on to me now, so I'll jump in. So hello, everyone. I'm Jenny Colvin. I am the Vice President here at Riverbend Food Bank. I have been with the food bank for over 7 years now. I started in development as a fundraiser, so I'll always be a fundraiser at heart, but just a little over a year ago, I took over some additional roles and duties, part of which is working with the partnerships team, and it's been really, really great. So thank you for your time today. I wanted to give a brief presentation on who we are, what we do, and how we can help better partner with you as an organization as we continue on. We are making some announcements that are possibly definitely affecting your budgets. And so I want to explore how Riverbend can support you better. So we'll start with talking about who we are, who the team is, and like I said, how we can help you moving forward. The development team is small but mighty. Our development director, she is just a couple of months into the new role. Her name is Avery Owens. So if you haven't already heard from her, you may be here soon. And under Avery, we have Dory Art-Benor, who has been here with us for a couple of years as a development director, as well as Samantha Sanson, who actually came to us from World Relief. She was, I believe, a volunteer coordinator there, and now she has joined the development team. And then Priscilla is our development coordinator. I think she's on this call. So hello, Priscilla. She brings in all the donations and she makes sure that everything gets processed appropriately. The development team as a whole is responsible for bringing in all the revenue for Riverbend Food Bank that comes from a variety of donors, individuals, businesses, grants, foundations, as well as planning all of our events, managing all of our campaigns that are revenue related. Also, not really with the development team, but kind of ancillary to that is our marketing and communication specialist, Nicole. She joined the team most recently to the food bank. I think she is our newest employee. One of her roles is to help forward our storytelling and donor communications. And so hopefully you're hearing great things coming from Riverbend on our storytelling side, but we always are looking to improve and make that better. And working with you directly with the partnership managers, we're going to be able to do that. But the overall goal of the fundraising, the development team, is to bring in more dollars so we can provide more food on our shelves for you to order to feed more people. I'll take the next slide, please. Okay, so for those of you that filled out the pre-call survey about fundraising or development challenges that you have, thank you for doing that. We received several responses. I wanted to share with you kind of the top partner challenges that we saw from the survey. Number one was lack of time or staff capacity. Number two, limited knowledge of available opportunities. Kind of an other category, so loss of key donors. So if some of your major donors have passed away or no longer live in the area, how that's affected you has been significant. Leadership changes may be affecting how you fundraise. Also, just needing help with identifying budgets, if you've ever written a grant or been a part of a grant, all of the requirements and reporting that comes along with that can be very, very cumbersome. We experience that as well. And then finally, difficulty identifying aligned funders. So who's out there in the community? How can they support your pantry, your organization? I'm here to tell you that our development team is committed and available to help you, understanding that each organization might have a different barrier, but we can help you. We can save time. We can help you find funding. We can help you increase impact. Our commitment is to help raise those dollars so that you can do what you do best, which is feeding people experiencing hunger. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about some ways that we could do that. Go ahead with the next slide, please. Okay, so something I want to talk about is our buying power. And you may have heard us talking about this. I think it's woven into every call we've had so far, but I just want to pause and talk a little bit about, again, how we can help you with our deeply discounted rates. You know, because we're a 501c3, how we purchase food makes us very, very competitive when we look at purchasing from retail stores or other resources. We have a national network and relationships with growers, manufacturers, and distributors. This slide represents the impact of purchasing from a grocery store or a retailer versus what we can do with those same funds. Just shows the impact of that. So as you can see, every dollar spent, we can purchase 4 to 5 cans of vegetables versus what, like if you or I went to the grocery store to purchase. That becomes really, really important this day and age post-COVID. You know, we've seen a decrease in food donations. We've seen an increase in need. And as we've all experienced that increase at the grocery store of the cost of food, your limited food budget stretches dramatically even further with what's going on. And then also with some of these changes that we're making, working with us allows you to serve more people without significantly increasing those expenses. It's really just using those dollars in the best way possible. So our combined purchasing equals leverage. So by pooling the demand through the food bank, we unlock that bulk pricing. We get truckload discounts when Gretchen makes orders. She can order more things in bulk. That helps drive down that cost. that if you as an individual partner agency couldn't do alone. All right, go ahead with the next slide, please. So some specific ways that we have been helping and can help in the communities we serve are a few different things. So you may or may not have heard us talking about the Core Collective. We have implemented this program in a couple of our markets in our service area, namely the Galesburg area and most recently the Dubuque area. Essentially what the Core Collective is, it's a partnership between Riverbend and our agency partners, all of you, that allow us to solicit donations on behalf of all of you from agreed upon businesses, grantees, foundations, etc. Again, just this belief that we're stronger together, we're collaborating versus competing for funds. Our team can help you raise more dollars that will support your organizations in an equitable way. Instead of being, like I said, instead of being viewed as competitors, we are side by side, joining you as an ally, leveraging our resources to help you put enough food on your pantry shelves to help people experiencing hunger. The school, and I want to emphasize, like Nikki said earlier in this call, this is specifically for our partner agencies, those 501c3s that are operating a pantry in your community. Moving to the school pantry, something that you may or may not have been hearing a lot about is our school pantry program. Earlier this month, we announced that we're transitioning our backpack program to the school pantry model to support the permanent client choice pantries that are located in the schools directly. These pantries make food more accessible for families. They reduce stigma and allow students to get the nutrition they need where they are every day. This is specifically for our schools, not our partner agencies. So our programs through the schools. I believe we'll be speaking a little bit more about that transition later in this call. So I'll move on to story collection and sharing. So to inspire donors and a broader community, we're intentionally gathering stories, perpetually, always gathering stories from you, both from families who use the pantries and from the schools who we see impact firsthand. We know that storytelling is powerful, and we know that sharing stories make the work that you do, that we do, tangible, personal, and deeply connected to the mission. This is what donors want to hear about. They want to understand how those dollars, how what you're doing, how what we're doing helps the community that they live in. Finally, another way that we can work together and that's really impactful is donor tours at your sites, at your pantries. Inviting donors to visit the school pantries, to visit your partner, to visit your agencies allows them to see this model in action. I can tell you from the development perspective, when we can get a donor to come into the warehouse and give them a tour to see mission in action, it's so much more powerful than just telling them about what we do. They can witness how food access is being transformed and really understand why their support matters. So those are all the really tangible ways that we can help support you. At the end of my presentation, I have my contact information. I know we're already working with some of you in these different realms, but if we haven't already spoken with you, I would love to have a conversation and understand what barriers you're experiencing and how we can help you be successful. That is our duty and that is our role as a food bank. Next slide, please. So again, your role in this partnership is to keep communication open. Danielle is on this call. I'm not sure if Jared is, but those are our partnership managers under Nikki's team, and they are here for you. They want to see you succeed. So on top of their regular monitorings and their regularly scheduled visits they have, please use them as a resource. If you are struggling with something, if you have a barrier, if you're having an issue with anything, they are your people to talk to, and they will talk to me, talk to the team here to get you what you need so that you can continue to feed more people. Again, sharing stories, sharing data points, sharing photos for all the grants we write, the grants that we can help you write. That's what's really powerful with our funders, and that's what's going to help us get that much more support to keep food on your shelves. Talk to Danielle and Jared about your local events and what your needs are. So if there's something going on, if you have a great fundraiser that supports your pantry, we can help promote that and share that. We have social media, we have a robust donor database with emails and with ways that we can communicate that with our donors, and our volunteers, so we can help you be successful. I believe later in this call, we'll talk about some opportunities to get involved with a working group, or if there's a training available, we are pushing that information out to you so that you can learn and grow more. And again, I'll just reiterate one of the questions on the survey was asking if you purchase food at locations other than Riverbend. I implore you to consider shifting more purchasing to Riverbend Food Bank. Now, when I talk to some partners about this, the feedback I get is, we don't have the inventory that you're looking for. Some of the items that you need, we don't have available. Tell us what you need. Tell us how we can grow that inventory list and put things in our inventory that are actually things that you want. The silver lining of our post-COVID world for food banks is that we have to purchase more food than we ever have before. The silver lining in that is that we get to choose what food that is versus being reliant on the donation. So let us help you. Let us work together to make you successful. Last slide, I believe. All right, that is it for me. Here's my contact info, my email, and that is my cell phone. Please call me, text me. I want to hear from you. We are always striving to do better, innovate, and be that partner that you very desperately need in this day and age. So please reach out. I look forward to chatting with you. I'll pause here for any questions that anyone may have. All right. Well, I think that's it for me. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you do come up with a question. And thank you all so very much for what you do. We cannot do this work without you. And we recognize that you are all like do-gooder volunteers in your community, or some staff people that are just doing great work in your communities. And it is not unnoticed. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Jenny. So Jenny pulled that presentation together from the survey, which I know she mentioned in her presentation, but we did a survey back in May, and that's where her information came from. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that when we survey you, it's our responsibility to make sure that we take your information and utilize it and then feed it back to you with that loop. So please take the time before sending out surveys. If you want your voice heard, please fill those surveys out, and so we can do that appropriate feedback loop to you. So Jenny also mentioned the backpack transition. I'll go into just a smidgen more depth on it, just in case there are people that have not heard about it. I'm assuming that all the schools have heard about this backpack transition because we've been communicating it for the last couple of months. However, if you have not, and you are involved in the school pantry or the school backpack program, you have not heard of it, please check with your principal, your superintendent, your program coordinator for information, because those are the three different people, different groups that we have sent the information out to. However, if you still can't find information, reach out to Danielle or Jared or myself so we can get you all the information that you need about this backpack transition that we are doing. So to clarify, again, this segment is designated for schools that have the backpack program or a school pantry program. So what we're doing is a strategic shift from the backpack program to our school pantry program. So what we have found out is that we are able to utilize our resources more efficiently, more effectively by transitioning to a school pantry model. As you can see from the slide, we are spending about 5 times as much to provide backpacks to students as if we were able to provide food through a school pantry model that would supply not only the student, but the student's entire family. So where with a backpack, we're able to distribute about 12 pounds per month per child. Through a school pantry, we're able to do about 54 pounds of food per month to the entire family. So it's a strategy that we're trying to make better use of our dollars, but also to serve more people and to serve more stable, nutritious meals that the family will hopefully be able to come into the pantry and choose instead of us just sending home the food with the child for a weekend. So that's the rationale behind what we're doing. And what we've done is identified about 20 schools that already have some sort of a school pantry in place at their school along with the backpacks. And so we are shifting the backpacks off of them and then just spending more time and energy into making sure that their school pantry is up and running and enhance it in any way that we can for this school year, so we can actually get more food out through those school settings. So we have identified those 20 plus schools in a phase 1, and that's what we're currently working on for this fall. Any questions on that so far? Good. All right. Next slide, still backpack transition. We just wanted to list some of the ways that we have been communicating to the principals, program coordinators, and superintendents. We also had a virtual town hall meeting on August 1st where we had representatives from the schools invited and were able to ask us questions, and we were able to share more information. We also have a feedback form that we put out, and we're really requesting that every school, if you have not filled out that feedback form yet, to get that done, because that's helping us figure out what our phase 2 looks like. Some schools are more ready to switch to this school pantry program than others, and we want to make sure that we're working with those that are wanting to make the shift sooner than later. So please fill out that feedback form as soon as you can. And if you don't have that information, just let us know and we can resend that form out to you. Or I can include that in the email that I send out with this recording too. I think that'll be helpful. So that's our phase 2. After we get on with the phase 1, we're moving to phase 2, but we don't really have a set timeline on that. It's really going to depend on how well we can get into the schools and work with the admin to put these school pantries in place, shifting off of the backpacks. Did I see a question come through?
Yeah, you have Val Matson asking, we're unsure where to put this pantry, but are we still doing backpacks until then? Also, when do backpacks start? That may be more of a question offline.
Yeah, so really good question that all schools are going to look very different, and we are dedicated to getting with you, with your school, coming and doing a visit and seeing, you know, what your space looks like, if you're able to have freezers or refrigerators, you know, what the distribution schedule would look like. So that's all part of that phase 2 plan and part of that form that we're wanting you to fill out so we can start putting some of that information together and start contacting these schools. We have about 55, 57 schools that we're looking to transition from backpacks to school pantries during this phase 2. So it is going to take us some time to sort through all of this to figure out what the plan looks like for each school. But the more information that you can share with us proactively, I think the better off we will be. So please keep the questions coming. Please keep your information coming. But then also just, you know, a little patience as we sort through to figure out how we can get through each of these 57 schools to enhance the way that we're offering food to the students. And then I think your other question was, when do backpacks start? I believe the first distribution is set to be the Thursday and Friday after Labor Day. But until we can get those distributions going, there's the paperwork, the forms that need to be filled out that Jared and Danielle, give me a yes or a no. I believe you guys sent that out end of last week. She sent,
Yes.
Jared
yes.
and Dan, yeah. Go ahead and why don't you speak to that, Danielle?
We sent emails out, very specific emails. If you did not get one, I'd love an email from you stating what school you're from and what you're looking for. Just again, more information, filling out that form. I've been very closely watching the bounce back undeliverable emails and addressing those. It's just more information you can send in those emails, the better. You can also call if you prefer to call. I know some people like that personal touch. We can definitely do that. It's a learning experience for all of us right now during this transition. But if you have not received the form or the agreement, give us an email, let us know. And Jared and I will be on that.
And I'm Jared. I am on the call. I just have I'm off today, and I have my son sleeping on my chest, so you can't see my face, but I am here. And I would just like to say, if you're new, would you please anyway just send an email to me so I can get to chat with you, hear your information, and we can direct you in the best way we can. There's a lot of nuance in this transition, and from both sides. Danielle and I are learning the process, and new people are learning the process. I think it's really important for us to over communicate in this moment rather than under communicate, because our genuine heart in this is to serve you guys well and better and steward these partnerships and be more intentional about that. So I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure Danielle would as well. And we just want to better steward these partnerships and relationships moving forward. So that's all I have to say.
So if you are a backpack program that is not transitioning in phase 1, you should have received an email either from Danielle or Jared late last week with all of the information in there that you need to get your backpack program up and running. It has the paperwork that you need to return, the agreement, the backpack agreement, and then we're also asking for the numbers so we can get that adjusted. And if you do not have that email, reach out to Danielle or Jared, but that is the process. And again, if you get all that paperwork in and we get your numbers figured out, delivery should be, I think it's the 6th and the 7th, Thursday, Friday after Labor Day. Okay. Any other questions on the backpack transition? Good. All right. Healthy Kids Iowa. So this part of the presentation is designated for those of our partners that are in Iowa. However, if you're in Illinois, you may have also heard about this Healthy Kids Iowa program that we had this summer. So just a brief recap on it. It's a program that was designed by the state to offer summer supplemental food to eligible kids age 4 to 18. So the food bank got with 22 sites in Iowa, and these 22 sites distributed these food boxes valued at $40 our cost. Like Jenny was talking about, our dollar goes a lot further than what your dollar goes. So if you can imagine $40 of what we would pay for this box of food, it was a lot of food that we were able to get into the hands of these kids. So the kids received 1 box per child per month with all of this nutritious, kid-friendly food. And that's what the state wanted to offer to supplement to the kids that were not able to receive the free and reduced breakfast and lunches that they typically get during the school year. So I will say that it was a slow start in June. As we ordered and had to receive the inventory and find our 22 lucky partner sites that got to work with us on Healthy Kids Iowa. So June was a little bit of a slow start. However, July, we saw a big increase from June to July. As you can see in the numbers, we had a 52% increase in the number of households that we served and a 40% increase from June to July in the number of children that we were able to serve. So a huge shout out, huge kudos to the 22 sites that were able to help us with this program. Today, August 22nd, is the last day that we are sending out food to any of the sites. So most likely we're done with the distributing from here. However, the sites, the 22 sites, they actually have until August 31st to distribute the Healthy Kids Iowa boxes out to the kids. And if you're a Healthy Kids Iowa partner agency, thank you. I did email you this morning. If you haven't let me know yet when your last day is, give me a quick email to let me know when you're done distributing. But with that being said, it was important enough, I think, for us to recognize each of the 22 sites. I've got a couple slides here. Just take a quick look at these wonderful volunteers. And I guarantee you, if I called any of these volunteers out, for all of their work, they would pass it off to their team of volunteers that also helped them with this program. So, but these are the ones that were directing all of the work that happened at these 22 sites. So we've got 5 counties in Iowa, 22 sites that were represented. I know Teresa's on the call, and she was one of the sites who did amazing work. Is there anybody else? Raise your hand if you're anybody else that was a site. I can't see everybody's face. And I'm going to teach a little bit of technology. Oh, Kathy Ginter, of course, from DeWitt. She's on the call. If you look at your screen at the top, do you see the smiley face that says react underneath it? If you can, go up there, click on that, and then hit the clap button. Let's give these ladies and gentlemen a round of applause or a heart or a thumbs up for all of their hard work. Yay! We did it. You survived. It was a lot of work, but as you can see, we just in July alone, we served over 4,000 kids, about 2,000 kids in June, and we don't have August number yet, but we're working on it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, moving on. Okay, so this final slide is open to anybody. I'm still kind of figuring out what this looks like, along with Jenny, who's going to be helping me form this Hunger Relief Partner Advisory Committee. So we want to try something new here at Riverbend by forming a Hunger Relief Partner Advisory Committee. So this committee is going to be a sounding board for new initiatives, a platform for our partners to share feedback and ideas. We want to, hear what's working. We want to work on what's not working. And we just want an open form of communication so we can, do better with our customer service or offer something that maybe we're not offering, and maybe stop doing something that we're doing that you're just like, it's not relevant anymore. You can stop doing this. We want this. We want the feedback. So we're forming this committee, and it's going to be a little difficult because we do serve 23 counties, but we're trying really hard to get some diversity with our geography. You can see we're looking at maybe a 2-year term. I think we will be meeting maybe every other month, maybe even quarterly, virtually. So hopefully it's something that would fit within your schedule. We want to increase the transparency and the communication. We want a group to help us work on some short-term tasks that we're, prioritizing here at Riverbend Food Bank. So if you are interested in participating in this committee, I have no idea if we'll hear from 2 people or from 30 people, but if you are interested, or if you just want more information on it, my email's on there. By September 5th, either ask me your questions or send me a short paragraph with your experience that you have working with your agency, and then why you would like to join. And then we'll figure out what this first round of this committee looks like. Any questions on our HRP Advisory Committee?
I'm going to go ahead and kind of make a plug on why this is a great idea. So
Sure.
I was talking with Karen from the Free Market, and she did HKI. I don't know if she's on the call or not, but she said, people were still walking in saying we had no idea about this. Yes, we did all the advertising, et cetera, et cetera. She's like, but maybe Riverbend Food Bank could blast this stuff out to the churches in the area specifically and ask them to put it in their bulletins or something like that. So that never dawned on me, but that's the idea behind the advisory committee. She said, she even thought later, she's like, well, if I would have given this out to my church, that information, the 1-page flyer, they could have put it in the bulletin. So great idea. Extra advertising right there.
That's a great example, Danielle. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Okay. Finally, I just have a couple updates that I want to share. One of them is from Gretchen, who wanted an announcement from the Davenport operations. I'm going to read this so I make sure I don't mess this up for her. It says, we would like to remind all Hunger Relief partners to please adhere to your assigned appointment time slots when picking up orders at our Davenport warehouse. Following the scheduled time just helps with timeliness, efficiency, and safety across our operations and our premises. We greatly appreciate your cooperation and partnership and look forward to working with you. So just a plug on making sure that You hit your assigned time, and if something comes up, making sure you contact us to let us know so we can make that adjustment. Because as Chris and I are fully aware, things come up that you really can't plan for and you have to adjust. So I think the more we can communicate with each other, and you know what, I will throw this out there too, that, we are working on communicating better with you when we are not able to hit our assigned date and time, more so the time for our delivery. So please know that we know it goes both ways, and the more we can communicate and just keep each other in the loop, I think the better off we'll all be. Last but not least, speaking of paperwork that we already talked about that came from Jared and Danielle about backpacks, they also sent an email out to pantry sites with all of the paperwork that needs to be completed, the agreement, civil rights, that kind of information. And we're looking to get that sent back. That information can go to Nora Noriega, and I know her information is in the packet. It's on the letter that we sent. Her email is noriega@riverbendfoodbank.org. You are also welcome to send that to Jared or Danielle and Nora, just to make sure that we get it all covered. Again, Jared put a plug in earlier. The more he can communicate with you guys and develop that relationship, that's kind of what our aim is. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out with questions, comments. We are here. Chris or Jenny, any final words?
There was a question in the chat on when the civil rights training needs to be completed by.
So I'm just gonna say, keep working on it. We had a change literally the day after the mailing went out, that on the Iowa side, the non-discrimination statement was reverting back to the 2019, which means that information in the civil rights training packet needs to be changed. So technically, I was told everyone to hold until October. I would just say, go ahead and continue to read the packet, sign the log, and there's more to come on that. That'll also happen in Illinois, but Illinois has not told us to hold. So keep doing what you're doing, read the packet, sign it. Don't worry about dating necessarily, and I will get more information to you when I can. It is not the answer that I wanted to give you guys. I was hoping we could just have it all taken care of as soon as possible, but the civil rights training and log is a very important factor in Illinois and Iowa TFAP guidelines. So just keep reading and keep signing, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, do your due diligence with it. You'll get more information from Danielle and Jared,
And then I think there was from Christine, she said, could you address what happened with the July order as not to having many staples that we typically order each month? Her example was oatmeal, pancake mix, and meat. I don't know if we can answer that online or not, or if we need to dig into that.
Were those commodities?
Christine, you can come off mute if you'd like. I don't think those are commodities, Chris, because our commodities don't usually send pancake mix, I believe. Could be wrong, but.
how about we get back to you? That's a really good question. Danielle, can you make note of that? Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? Rick, we will check on that for you. And no, they were not commodities. Okay.
Thanks,
we
Janet.
will get back with those specific questions. Okay, I really appreciate that people were able to unmute themselves and ask questions and utilize the chat log. I think we finally got the technology figured out. So spread the word so we can double the attendance next time. But remember, if you cannot make a call live, we will send out the recording afterwards. Chris, Jenny, last chance. Any other questions? We all good? Danielle, Jared, Rachel, I know you're on.
Drive home safely and happy Labor Day.